Good morning from Bangkok, Thailand. You're tripping with Flano here in beautiful Bangkok, Thailand. So, I haven't done one of these in quite a while. Multiple reasons. Actually, I just kind of loaded up one or two quickie things that kind of got me in the mood to do this. Because I was in mid-ramble on the very last video I posted. One of my super wonderful, super lovely friends, Mr. Dr. Wittenberg, sent me a message and it stopped my stream, my live stream of consciousness, of thinking about everything. Here we are, by the way, on Wireless Road here in Bangkok, Thailand. You can see not a lot of people out here on a Sunday morning. It's kind of a cool building up there and up there. Kind of cool. So anyway, right down the road here we have the Vietnamese embassy, we have the US embassy, and we have the Garage Burger. One of my beautiful friends. Shout out to the Garage Burger down there. Oh, check out this building. Woo. Okay, we're running along the SkyTrain here. Got the walkway. We're gonna be on the pedestrian walkway a little bit later. Okay, we'll see how long this ramble lasts. So, I started rambling on the last one about, well, first of all, I haven't done a long walk and ramble for a while. The COVID thing's been a bit of an issue for everybody. Everybody's handling it in their own ways. I am not one of the fear people. I'm not afraid. I'm not worried. If I were to get sick, I'm jumping. No. Or I say I'm going to jump. If something is seriously bad, I don't know. I've been doing research. And when people talk about that, some people, not everybody, but some people immediately think you're some crazy conspiracy person. Well, what gets me angry with that mindset is the fact that myself and many others, we're trying to understand what the fuck's going on and get the truth and get other explanations. There's plenty of doctors out there talking. A lot of doctors. They're not all on mainstream TV. And the doctors that haven't been banned or deleted or removed from social media have some pretty interesting things to say. And let me just say, as I start getting into Dr. Andrew Kaufman and Dr. Judy Makovich, or whatever, I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. I've been over here to the Bumrungrad Hospital in Bangkok. It's one of the top hospitals in the world. It's rated like top 10. I've been in there. I've had a lot of stuff done there. I love it. Great hospital. We just walked by it actually. It's down there on Soi 3, Soi 1, very close to where we just were. Anyway, so I've been in there recently. Also, the Sukhumvit Hospital right near my house, and then the Sanjavari. Anyway, there's two other hospitals. So I've been in 4 major big hospitals right all around my home recently, and they're all virtually, if not empty, there's hardly anybody in them. I've gone during peak times. One was Saturday afternoon. One was, I think, Tuesday afternoon. The place should be full of people. The only reason I mention this is I know the hospital issue seems to be quite a talking point for people. So anyway, I've stuck my nose in my hospitals. Oh yeah, the Police General Hospital also. Not many people, but every single hospital has their setup. When you come in, you got to do your temperature and everything, and they put a blue dot on your shirt to say you're okay, no temperature. I mean, you know, people get temperatures, run fevers for all sorts of stuff. So it sounds like the minute you have a fever, you're automatically COVID. Oh my God, quarantine. First of all, I have quarantined, like really quarantined for about 20 days straight almost. The only thing I did is go downstairs, go to my 7-Eleven and out and get some food and coffee and sit outside my building a little bit, and didn't really go around at all. Now I'm going around a lot. A lot of people going around. Our parks are open now. Our malls are open on a limited. Oh, I wanted to go up here. By the way, this is Taco Bell. Sorry, I like Taco Bell. It was a big deal growing up, and there's some fast food shit that you got to try once in a while. Otherwise, I try to keep a healthy diet and a healthy mindset. Okay, so anyway, I'm rambling, and if you're watching this, I love you, but just wanted to go up the stairs here. What we're doing is we're heading into the public walkway that's above the road underneath the SkyTrain, and yeah, it's just kind of funny that places like Los Angeles don't have this. It takes up no space. You know, if you're familiar with Los Angeles, you see that footprint. That's it. Everything sits above that. That could be Sepulveda Road, that could be Ventura, that could be Santa Monica, Wilshire, anything. So, I just find that shocking. Okay, back to the ramble. So, I've been listening to all sorts of people talk about their perspectives, their interviews, their everything, their opinions. Dr. Andrew Kaufman, quite fascinating. You can still find some of his videos. Dr. Judy Markovich, some of her stuff is still up, but the minute these people hit the big time, Brian Rose of London Real, or that Pat guy of Valuetainment, once they get to that level of viewership, you're getting up into the millions, then the officials come in and fucking yank you and say you're spreading inaccurate medical information or whatever. And so the thing is, oh, sorry, I'm just walking through. I just got yelled at because I don't have my mask on. Sorry. Well, you know what? I guess I won't be walking on the thing. I got security coming out at me right now. Now they're going inside. Everybody just sprung out at me right now because I didn't have my mask on. So, wow. Fortunately, a lot of the people recognize me here. I think those security guys, they don't really know me, but they've been seeing me forever. But they just jumped out of their little office. The girls came out of their little thing. Here comes this guy. So what's gonna happen here? Swaddy Cop. What's gonna happen? Okay. So I'm gonna be up on the walkway here. which I don't think is a mask zone. You hear that? Okay, what I'm going to do, the fact that you're supposed to wear a mask in a park when it's hot and you're sweating, I'm sorry, I do not believe that that is healthy for anybody to be exercising with a mask on when you're hot and sweaty. This is the walkway. You can see the SkyTrain up there maybe in the reflection. Yeah. There it goes. There's nobody out here. Keep in mind, I just walked through the little turnstile there. There's nobody around, and they sprung out at me for not having my mask on. Got my mask right here. I do put it on if I go on the SkyTrain. It does go on. But in a situation like this, there's nobody around. I don't believe I'm violating any policy. I don't think you're supposed to have a mask on when you're up here on the walkway. But I'll find out. Somebody will let me know. I don't think I'll be arrested for a simple mask violation of this degree. But they definitely wouldn't let me get on the BTS. Oh, also nobody came out to get my temperature in the BTS. That could be another reason they thought I was getting on the BTS. But I'm up here. I just want people to see this walkway. You see how these malls are connected together? What a beautiful design. It just shocks me. Security could care less about me not having a mask on. Police General Hospital. You see that sign? That's where I go to give blood. It's really early on a Sunday. I doubt anybody's there. I do need to give blood, and I will give blood again very soon. This right here is the Irwan Shrine. We had an unfortunate incident here a long time ago where a IUD kind of a thing happened, basically. Looks like it's open on a limited level now. So this is the intersection at Siam, basically, and Central World. Now I have security watching me. This is Central World. That's where they have the big moto show. Every year they got a big motorcycle show there. So I have a couple of, I'm assuming those aren't police, they're security. They're back following me a little bit. They're not like chasing after me, but I do have two security guys coming my way. So I'll probably get back down on the street. You see nobody. Okay, so let me get back on the ramble of the medical stuff. A lot of these doctors, Police General Hospital. Okay, I don't see him at the moment. We're gonna stay up here. Here comes somebody running. It's quieter up here rather than being on this street. Okay, where are we at? 14. I don't want to go over 30. So through all the research I've done, I don't believe everything that's happening is necessary. The quarantine, I believe, is complete bullshit. Just my belief from everything I've researched. I also don't believe that this thing is as contagious as they make it out to be. It does sound like mortality rates, depending upon who you ask, haven't changed a whole lot. They've just reassigned the mortality rates to the COVID-19. There are doctors, very well esteemed doctors with all sorts of degrees in medical, this, that, and the other thing, that say they have not isolated the COVID-19 virus. This is fascinating. Multiple doctors have said this. I've already named a couple. Dr. Andrew Kaufman, very reputable doctor, and also Dr. Judy Mankiewicz. You got to check this stuff out, you guys. When you hear people say these things like myself, of course you're probably not going to believe it, because you just think this is all bullshit or whatever. At least those who are not into the, those that are into the narrative. So go out, do your research. Don't look at The Guardian for information. Don't look at Time Magazine or whatever, you know? You got to look at independent journalism. You know? Oh, something totally different, the Jeffrey Epstein case. My God. Talk about some crazy shit. Whitney Webb. Google Whitney Webb Epstein. Sean Atwood, also like him, man. That guy's good. But he's getting issues from the censors as well, because he's hitting on true stuff. I mean, he covers all sorts of stuff. So I'm walking towards a guy right now. We'll see. I don't think he cares. Okay. Yeah, I'm going right by him without my mask on, so that's cool. Anyway, Whitney Webb has uncovered, she's not the only one, there's other researchers doing this too, but she has uncovered some pretty phenomenal stuff regarding the Epstein web. It is just crazy. But Epstein wasn't even, sure, he was kind of a big fish, but in the scope of things, he wasn't like a super big fish. The Victoria's Secret guy, Wexler, was that his name? I don't know. I'm not saying his name probably, but it's the guy who owns Victoria's Secrets. He's huge. According to this research, according to Whitney Webb and other people. Anyway, so what I'm getting at is, this is a person who's done incredibly detailed, accurate research that you're never ever going to hear in the mainstream media. And she highlights how everybody's connected. She talks about some very interesting stuff with Clinton and a chef that was connected to Clinton, or actually, I'm sorry, I don't know if he was connected to Clinton. He did stuff around Clinton, but I think it might have been Epstein's chef. But he spent a lot of interesting times around Clinton with the girls and everything, which were quite interesting. So the chef had a mysterious death. And anybody who's looked at anything regarding the Clinton body count, it's not a conspiracy. It is not a conspiracy. Too many things get labeled conspiracy because they want everybody associated with it to think it's bullshit, when in fact there's so much insanity happening in our world today. So much craziness. It's just mind-boggling. But you got to do your research, people. You got to dig, you got to look. Oh, the thing that I know I'm rambling, but hopefully there's stuff you'll get from this. I entered the rabbit hole through Operation Northwoods. Also look up Operation Midnight Climax. That's kind of an interesting one. That was happening in my backyard in '67 when I was growing up. Although I wasn't there in '67, I was traveling in Norfolk Island or somewhere. But Operation Northwoods. All I will say, hey dude, a little skinny, so we call that a soy dog. I was watching one of the Kennedy things, And if you go in deep, deep, deep into the research, there are people that'll, I think pretty clearly, without a doubt, show you that Oswald never even shot his gun. But and oh, Robert Kennedy Jr., another amazing person people should be listening to. Fascinating one about him. He interviewed Sirhan, the guy who killed his father. Well, technically, according to him, he didn't kill his father. He missed 3 shots. All just missed him because 3 bullets were accounted for that didn't touch him. But his father had a gun blast in the back of his head at point blank because he had the gun powder or whatever residue all over his like scalp. So somebody came up from behind and placed the gun directly onto the head, on his head, right behind his right ear apparently, and boom. So I guess he interviewed the coroner. They're like, yeah, somebody placed a gun right on his head from behind and blew out his head. So Sirhan's shots never actually connected with his father because some spectator, whatever, like jumped on him, knocked his arms up and put his aim away from his father. So I'm pretty sure it was 3 shots Sirhan fired, none of which connected with his father. But there was the backup person to make sure nothing went wrong. That's exactly what happened with JFK, his brother. They had multiple backup people around. JFK pissed off the CIA, FBI, the mob, and multiple other people. And what I was getting at originally, the Operation Northwoods, CIA came to JFK and said, here's Operation Northwoods, we want you to sign off on it. He said, you guys are fucking insane, you're fucking sick bastards, and I'm gonna tear you guys apart into little pieces. So anyway, a week or two, not even that long after this, he was assassinated. I looked into Operation Northwoods and couldn't believe what I was reading. I was literally in shock. That was my rabbit hole moment. That was my moment falling into the rabbit hole. I was completely like, whoa. So from that moment on, I started looking up all these random operation this, operation that, Operation Dominic. Whoo-hoo. I kind of knew about that stuff, but didn't realize the extent of the atomic nuclear bomb testing we were doing out in the Marshall Islands, Bikini Atoll. We just blasted the fuck out of that place multiple times. And so did other countries. It wasn't just the US. There's other countries. That's why eventually there was the nuclear freeze or whatever that I think Kennedy did, possibly. Anyway, and that's something environmentalists, Save the Planet, they never talk about, that we blasted the fuck out of that environment, out of our environment back then. And that had some serious effects that we're dealing with today. I mean, our environment's a whole nother fucking random conversation. So, okay, I'm getting close to my 30-minute mark where I don't want to go beyond. So, the main things here. I believe this entire situation we're dealing with is part of the ID 2020, Agenda 2030. Look it up. Quantum tattoos. Look it up. And I do believe that Bill Gates is very well part of this big agenda. The vaccine issue. Robert Kennedy Jr. Watch some of his interviews, not the little short ones. He's still got long ones out there. BitChute is where you're going to find some of the best interviews now. BitChute.com is kind of the new YouTube. They don't censor, they don't remove people. Such as, well, David Icke is a perfect example. He got shut down. He had like 1 million views or more or something on the Brian Rose. They shut him down really quick. They've removed David Icke, everything from the social media. That's another good topic. You got to understand, David Icke is touring the world, sold out venues, talks for 10 hours, sold out venues. I guess he gets a bad rap for some of his early stuff he said 30 years ago about being Jesus or some sort of a incarnate spiritual leader. For a moment he said, oh, sorry, and he goes into pretty good detail on why that whole thing happened. Anyway, he's traveled the world. His research is pretty thorough. So everything he says is coming from hard data, hard facts, from doctors, from scientists. It's not just him saying this technology is linked to the bug and people are dying because this technology was turned on in Wuhan and then everybody started dying. But what he does say, which I find kind of interesting, is how the technology, what it does to our body. Can't deny it. Telecom industry has no environmental health and safety impact result tests, nothing. Why is that? The telecom industry has not tested FIIVE GGGG. They have not done any tests on it specifically, but yet it's going up everywhere. Elon Musk is launching 40,000 satellites up into low Earth orbit for all this. Nobody voted on this, it's just happening. Speaking of voting, our civil rights, especially in the US, but globally, are being stripped from us. Free speech is kind of a joke. People are being censored, monitored, removed, banned left and right because they're going up against the narrative. People are getting the truth, they're putting it out there, but the powers that be do a pretty good job at making everybody sound crazy. Some people like me probably do sound crazy talking about it, but there's a lot of very, very educated people out there discussing this. You need to do your research. Remember, there are doctors that say that the entire COVID-19 has not been isolated or identified clearly. You got to look into this to understand what I'm talking about. You just hear what I'm saying? Oh, please, it's killing tons of people. You got to look into it to understand what is happening. One other thing before I close, you know that the hospitals have an incentive to diagnose people with COVID and then get the heart defibrillator, not the heart, the lung air things. This is a really big deal that they're doing. And this is, they get like money, the oxygen things to put on. That's what it got. And body tags, people that are dying. There's even these huge officials on the news with Trump saying if they are experiencing flu-like symptoms, which just happen to be exactly the same as COVID-19 symptoms, and they die, then you mark the death is related to that or they died from that, even though they probably had a heart attack or they were old. I used to love loud motorcycles. I grew up on motorcycles. But I tell you, in my old age, some of these bikes are too loud. They're shitty little things. They're not cool loud. They're not like MotoGP loud. Well, actually some are, but they still sound like shit. Anyway, yeah, so hospitals get money to say this person has the bug and to use the ventilators or whatever. And other doctors are saying the ventilators are killing people faster. So there's all sorts of crazy information. That's the bottom line. I don't believe this quarantine is necessary. You don't quarantine healthy people, you quarantine sick people. And again, this is part of the ID 2020, Agenda 2030. Google it, look it up, see who owns it, see who's connected. Also keep in mind who is one of the biggest funders of the UN, of the World Health Organization. Who's behind that? You know who I'm talking about. And he is not a doctor, he has no medical background, but yet he's pushing vaccines. Why? Why is the guy who has no medical background, regardless of if it's good or not, which it can't be, why is he pushing a mandated global worldwide vaccine? Why is he doing that? Doesn't anybody just get? At least realize you should have the right to do what you want with your body. If you don't want the vax, you don't have to take it. But the fucking problem is you can't do anything now because they're gonna make it where you can't travel, you can't do this, you can't do that unless you have this thing. This is the other big fucking problem which really upsets me to no end. It makes me think our future is bleak and our children are so screwed. And it just, right now I get really depressed, I get really sad, I get really upset. Because the way I see things going is just really, really not good. I try not to, but everything's pointing that way. What's happening right now has been discussed and talked about for a long time. It's even been written down, it's been like part of a plan. And it's happening. We've got people locked at home. We've got drones chasing people for going out on the beach. This is fucked up. This is seriously, seriously fucked up. People are being locked up for trying to go on the beach. We can't protest. We can't peacefully protest. They are controlling us, tracking us. The tracking software that's happening because of the COVID tracing thing. I mean, don't people understand? Can't they see what's happening? This is so bad. Okay, I've rambled enough for this one. We're already at over my 30-minute mark that I like to go over. But if anybody's still watching this, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. Please feel free to comment below. Just be polite. If you don't agree with what I say, that's okay. If you think I'm crazy, you can say that. Just be polite about it. Don't be an ass munchhole. No reason to be rude to people. Rudeness is a sign of someone being an ass munchhole, pretty much. So, oh yeah, I was on the Daily Show or whatever that thing is with Stephen Colbert. That's a whole nother funny discussion, random, bizarre thing, which I'm not going to get into right now. But for people that say, I was just watching Stephen, was that you? Yeah, that was me. That was me. So, anyway, but I'm not going into that. Just a whole other subject matter. It's all good. So guys, again, please do your research out there. Check stuff out. See what's happening. Hey girl. Do your research. See, there's people out here. Look at this. Tons of people out at the market doing their thing Sunday morning. But yes, most people are wearing a mask even out in the open, which I find pretty... Oh shit! What am I doing? Oh man. I'm so used to... I'm rambling. I'm rambling and talking, and I just went... look at this guy right here! Woo. That's so funny. Oh, there's a popcorn salesperson right there. It's okay, puppy. See, the dogs look at me and trip. Some of them, some could care less, but those dogs right there were like really freaked out. That's another thing I need to talk about, the dog stuff. Okay, guys. Yeah, if you're watching this, you're probably drunk. I don't drink or smoke anymore. I was never a big smoker. I drank for a minute. I shouldn't say a minute, 10 years hard. Gin, bottles. This guy fucking honking at me. My own cup! My own cup means no thank you. Everybody's hurting. That's right behind him, hop on that for a couple of miles. But I'm out walking. Okay, guys. Do your research. ID 2020, who's behind it? ID 2020. And Everest.org. Forgot to mention that. Everest.org. Check that out. Device-free personal identification. Everything they need for you. Scanning for all financial transactions, all medical information, the fast lane on the toll plaza, bridge crossings, all that stuff. But it's safe, it's secured. Fucking A, right, man? So please, check this stuff out. And, yeah. Oh, one last little note. Looks like Valentino Rossi is pretty much got his deal happening with Petronas. This is a really big deal. Got a tweaker right there. Not want him on my video. Yeah, Valentino Rossi is moving to Petronas next year. This is really a big deal. It's a Yamaha kind of satellite team, but Fabio last year was fighting for first place with Marquez on his Yamaha, and they moved him over to the Yamaha monster or factory team where Rossi was. So essentially Rossi said, well, I don't want to renew a contract until I see how competitive I am. Then this bug thing happened, it fucked everything up. He wanted to race approximately 6 races and then make up a decision on retirement or continue. So everything got messed up, so he's pretty much confirmed to go to Petronas Yamaha, which is a Sepang Malaysia owned team. I think it was it last year, was their first year, I guess? They did awesome. Awesome. One of the dudes is one of Rossi's students from the ranch. Good guys, but this Fabio French dude, number 20, Marquez, watch out. I'd love to see Rossi win one more championship, get number 10 under his belt. Anybody who's paid attention to MotoGP pretty much should love Rossi. I know there's some out there that don't like him, but I love him. Great attitude. He's been through the shit. He's been through the different motorcycles and everything. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because I need to go in 7-Eleven, get some water and hydrate and all this stuff. So, again, if you are watching, thank you. Do your homework. Google Operation Dominic, Operation Midnight Climax, Operation Northwoods. Oh yeah, also the MK Ultra. Some people think that's completely bullshit. MK Ultra is so real. So real, heavily documented. Gottlieb, what's that guy's name? Oh, is this one closed? Shit, it is closed. 7-Eleven closed. Well, there's another one. In Bangkok and Thailand, there's 7-Elevens pretty much every corner. This one right here. So funny, there's 7-Eleven right there, and there's this one. This one's closed. Anyway, I think I've rambled enough. Thank you. If anybody's watched, maybe someday when I'm long gone, people will see this and go, wow, man, that's pretty interesting. But I just wish everybody health, good luck, love, prosperity. Use your head, use your senses. Don't believe everything you're told. Love your kids, guide them well. We'll talk to you later. This has been Trippin' with Flano here in Bangkok, Thailand. Take it easy, guys.